welcome back to the Fundamentals podcast, where we talk all things related to sports from a fan's perspective. This is an opinion-based podcast, so if you don't like what we're talking about, I don't know what to tell you. Adrian, what's up, man?
Man, chilling, man.
Chilling.
As much as I can.
Yeah, it's been a rough week of football for you.
Yeah, man. Let's get on with the show, man.
You just get on with it. First of all, I would hear me out. All right, I'm gonna start out with this. Right, I'm gonna get right into this. These question marks that I keep, and this kind of started with Bomani Jones coming out and saying, I don't know when we started talking about Matthew Stafford being good and all of that. Like, did you? Did you miss some years or something? And I rock with Bomani, like I rock with Bomani Jones. But this was a weird take from him, and I from what I could tell, everybody feels the same. But here's the thing, right? And outside of the MVP race this year with Drake Maye, because obviously New England Patriots are going to feel a specific way, and that's fair. That's fine, right? If you hate the Rams, you're going to feel a certain way. That's fair. That's fine. In terms of MVP, what we can't sit here and do is pretend like Matthew Stafford does not have an elite arm, right? We're not going to do that, right?
Oh yeah.
We're not going to say he's good this year because he has Adams and he has Puka Nacua.
What about last year?
Yeah, we're not gonna. So we're gonna take out last year. We're gonna take out Cooper Cup being Triple Crown. We're gonna take out what was that 2011 with Calvin Johnson, where he had like 44 touchdowns. We're gonna take that away, right?
Not only that though, but let's just be honest. It ain't like he was the sole reason those Detroit Lions teams was terrible. They
Right.
were just terrible, but
They were just terrible.
Put up some good numbers on them teams too. So,
right. And so this is where I start to have the issue with the casual fans. Because we're not gonna pretend like Matthew Stafford wasn't a good quarterback before the Rams. Now I had some issues with the trade when Jared Goff was traded there. As a Rams fan, I did have some issues with Matthew Stafford. I felt like I felt like he locked in on one receiver, but then I had to go back and look, and I was like, well, who else did he really have in Detroit? You had Calvin Johnson and Nate Burleson.
He didn't have a big selection of receivers there.
No tight end.
No, he didn't have a tight end, did he?
No. He wasn't working with much in Detroit, right?
They didn't have no running game. They really didn't have nothing at Detroit anyway.
Nothing. That's why I kind of give some grace to Dan Orlowski when he had to come in. He looked so bad. Now I can't defend you on the running out of the back of the end zone that time.
Yeah, you just had no awareness. Your QB awareness was 0 on that play.
Right, but it was that time of Detroit where it was just like,
yeah, it was bad.
it
was a bad time.
It was just bad, right? But back to my point, Matthew Stafford has shown everybody that he has a talented arm. Is he aging? Yes. Is his hand hurt? I 1000% his hand is injured, right? What do we know? What do we know about Matthew Stafford? He will play through injuries. He is a tough guy.
He's a tough guy. Yeah,
he's a tough guy. We had question marks at the beginning of the season about his back. Will he play? His back is injured. Guess what? We ain't heard since the season started.
That's a fact.
About his back. You ain't heard nothing about his back.
Nothing about his back no more.
So, to even question whether he's good, I don't think there's a question mark whether he's a Hall of Famer. Like I don't know how we're questioning that.
I wouldn't question it at all.
Right,
He got the numbers for it. So I mean,
right.
I've seen people get in the Hall of Fame for less, or about to be in the Hall of Fame for less.
Yeah, but
Eli.
I have the same feelings when I look at why Torrey Holt's not in there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
agree.
Mister All Decade, like you
Nah,
consecutive
yeah,
1,200 yard seasons,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
consecutive for I mean years, not just
yeah.
two, but years,
Yeah, this is facts. He's spitting facts,
and
huh?
Super Bowl wide receiver. He's all these things Torrey Holt has done, and you're telling me he's not a Hall of Famer? He keep getting snubbed on that.
Yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer.
So that speaks for itself, right?
That's
And
funny.
so the Hall of Fame thing is starting to get a less credible, right? Um, I hate that for the people that are in that actually deserve it. I hate that for the Shannon
My
Sharps.
bad.
Bless you. I
Thank you.
hate that for the Shannon Sharps and and the Marshall Falks and the um I can go on and on. Warren Sapp and
Well, ain't nothing
T.O.
against
and
them. They earned their spots. T.O.'s kind of
yeah,
robbed
yeah,
or, put on that bullshit, that
yeah,
BS for the years.
right,
But other than that, yeah, Torrey Holt should be in there. I ain't gonna even lie. He should be in there. Torrey Holt should be in there. I think Matt Stafford is gonna go in, and if he doesn't, then I think it's BS. I think it's BS. Eli might get in before Torrey Holt. It
that's crazy.
doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. He got two Super Bowls is what they're gonna give to him. So, but I think Matthew Stafford is gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. He should be MVP this year. I mean, Drake May look good. Definitely look good. They look good all around. But at the same time, I think Matthew Stafford has a better season. He's putting up better numbers, but it's not always going to be the numbers that win. We know how that works.
yeah,
We've seen what happened with Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
So,
It's it's kind of just who I feel like in the moment. Like it's not about what you do on the field. It's about what people like, right? And
oh yeah.
and and that's what it's starting to go to. And
Hmm.
when I tell people, I say, "Hey, this is not a I hate Drake May thing." Like I praised him earlier this year. I like Drake May.
I think he's an
I
MVP candidate. I definitely do think he's an
yeah.
MVP
If
candidate.
if
He
if
deserves it,
Matthew
rightfully so, to
Stafford's
be there.
if yeah if Matthew Stafford's not up there, then I'm picking Drake May. But what I'm looking at with Matthew Stafford is not only the numbers, but the numbers of who he did it against. You got to think Seattle. Um, Seattle is number one ranked defense. Right, played them twice. Had really good numbers in both those games against Seattle. Really good numbers in both those games against Seattle. I
Yeah.
know he lost the second one in over. Well, he didn't, but they lost the second one in overtime. Right? It was a fluke play with the pass that was backwards. Verse hit the ball. It went backwards. The receiver didn't even know he was scoring. He just was picking it up, and they was like, "Oh, it counts." Like in that
It
overtime.
was legit play, but yeah, it was fluke
Yeah,
because nobody knew. But at the end of the day, it was the right
e-
call.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Um, so it's I'm not my thing is we have to look at he's and the 49ers are their defense hasn't been what it has been due
What
to
defense?
due to
You
the
know there's
injuries.
you know there's no
But
defense in San Francisco or 49ers.
but but right. But but he still had to play them twice, and they're still an elite team. They were,
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I
they're
mean?
formidable offensively, definitely.
Yeah, through the season, they were an elite team, right? It's hard to argue that they weren't on an elite team. They
Yeah,
they very well could have been, up there, the number one in that division, right?
that's a
Um,
that's a fact.
right. So You are that was the toughest division in the league by far. That's not. I don't think
Hmm.
anybody's arguing that. Um, and Matthew Stafford has had to play through that. He's had one of the harder schedules this season. And I'm not saying the Rams are winning all because of him. I think this season for the Rams has been a total team effort. But Matthew
Hmm.
Stafford totally totally has been the biggest part on why that offense functions the way it does. The
I
Rams
will
are
say they kind of sputtered at the end of the season, but
they did. They did.
yeah,
But I feel like McVay knows that he kind of got away from what was working a little bit. If you look at early on in that season, some of the packages that we were playing where we looked really good, where we have three tight ends out there and we were utilizing the run game and we were
hmm,
a balanced attack. And he kind of went away from that. It got really, really, really um, pass happy and we weren't balancing it. And that's essentially what I felt like happened with Chicago. We if you look, we had some really good runs and it was like for 2 quarters we abandoned the run. I think I
yeah,
texted you about that. I said we're abandoning the run and we had good runs, like we were effective and quite honestly that should have been what we were doing. That should have been the game plan against Chicago because they can't stop the run. So
yeah,
that should have been the game plan. Set up the play action pass, run the ball. Um, but for whatever reason, we got away from that. And I think McVay knows that. I think I was watching something where he talked about that a little bit. One of those
hmm,
podcasts he was on after the Chicago game. But with that said, you know, back to my point about Matthew Stafford and the Rams. There's no reason to not believe that they're the best team in the NFC, in my opinion, right now. I think they beat Seattle, and I think Matthew Stafford is the clear cut MVP, in my opinion. And the reality is, I don't, I, you know, I don't, I don't think that enough people have paid attention to what the Rams do outside of just looking what the analysts say, right? But they haven't been watching, right? And if you watch, it's a total different thing. And I think that given what the turnaround that New England has had, more eyes have kind of been on them, and I think
of
that's
course.
why so many people are like, "Oh, where's Drake May?"
Well, I mean,
And
yeah, they're gonna do that because New England wasn't even supposed to be where they're at. So when you look at their turnaround versus people expected the Rams to be where they're at, you're gonna always get the ones that kind of overachieve get a better. They're gonna get more rep. They're gonna get more praise. They're gonna get more. Well, they are the most valuable player because last year they were trash.
yeah,
This year they turned it all the way around. They are in the division. They're in the conference championship game now. About ready to go to the Super Bowl. So it's kind of hard to go against what you're seeing there versus steady. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's
right,
steadily been doing what he's been doing the last 3 years or whatever. About to
right,
go back to possibly another Super Bowl. So that's what he's up against. Unfortunately, is that statistically, I think Stafford is the MVP when you look at the statistics. But when you're looking at it from that lens of the Patriots aren't even supposed to be here, and Drake May kind of excelled this year, that's where you're gonna get that Drake May is the MVP type thought process because of the fact that they weren't even supposed to be where they're at, and look what they did. So
right.
that's gonna propel him to being a most valuable player. So you know how that works.
Yeah,
It's a quarterback trophy anyway, but
yeah,
so,
for sure.
so it's gonna either be him or it's gonna be Matt Stafford. I think personally it should be Matthew Stafford. If Drake May wins, would I be surprised? I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised if he won.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because it's still almost the same thing they did with Josh Allen last year. He didn't have nobody. Yada 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 yada. But when you look his numbers compared to what Lamar Jackson did, Lamar Jackson had better numbers.
right.
Overall. But You talk about a player that was with the team that was voided of superstar talent. So guess what he gets? He gets all the praise and he gets the MVP trophy when I don't think he should have won that MVP trophy, but it is what
Hmm.
it is.
Right.
But they ride high on certain things when you have lack of talent or your talent is less than you lose a lot and then you still excel, you're gonna be the MVP.
Yeah.
If you are running
Right.
around with a team that ain't been nothing last year and you were the starting quarterback last year, you might have showed flashes, but then the next season you jump and elevate to where Drake Maye is, you're probably gonna get MVP.
Yeah.
It's just the
Yeah.
way it's gonna move because it's more
No.
exciting
Yeah, I
to see
agree.
the new shiny toy.
Yeah. No, I agree. 1,000%. You brought up Josh Allen and him getting that MVP last year. Look, in that game against Denver, he had what, 4, 5 turnovers? Was it 4?
Something like that. Four or
Okay.
five, something like that. Yeah.
At at what point do we hold Josh Allen to the same standard as Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, heck, even Dak Prescott? At what point do we start giving him the same criticism? Because I saw a lot of people like sympathizing with him. Like,
I was about to say, you ain't getting on this show.
yeah, no, yeah,
No, no, you are the cause of that. So therefore,
yeah,
your criticism is going to be just like we criticized the mother boys.
yeah,
You didn't get it done. You screwed up. This is on you.
yeah.
I mean,
Even
I'm not giving
prior
passes
to
out there, man. It's no
even
passes. You
prior to the
slow.
question mark of the completed pass to Cooks, whether it was an
Hmm.
interception you were
Yeah,
losing already due to turnovers. You already
yeah,
losing due to turnovers.
yeah, yeah. You got your coach fired.
That's a great conversation. That's a great. I mean,
To me, ain't no conversation to be had. You got your coach fired.
yeah, yeah. Somebody had to be the scapegoat, and
Yeah,
McDermott was it.
they ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get rid of Josh Allen.
No,
They weren't gonna get rid of him. So it's either him or the coach. Guess what? The coach usually always goes first.
yeah, yeah,
So you got your coach fired. They reports are about how he was, I guess, crying in the locker room and all this other stuff that was going on, and McDermott ultimately got fired.
yeah,
The noise is
yeah.
too loud. For what? It ain't McDermott's fault that they they didn't get over the hump. Matter of fact, if you look back a couple of years, if you look at last year, there's a couple of missed throws by Josh Allen that could have won the game. He
Yeah.
missed a wide open receiver in one of these years where he was just wide. I think it was when they had Stephon Diggs wide open.
Oh
He
yeah,
didn't throw it to him. He tried to go deep down the field, and that didn't work out for him.
yeah.
Josh Allen is a great quarterback, but he does too much. He tries to be a superhero, and you don't need it.
All the time. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's
you don't
always
need
got
it.
the cape on.
Hmm.
Like, and there's
So
sometimes we just need you to manage the game. Like
yeah,
you can't be the superhero every play,
exactly.
but
So
he
when
wants
you
to
get
be.
asking somebody like me, it's on you. You want to wear the cape, you take this L. That's on you.
Yeah,
I can't if we're gonna hold Lamar Jackson to this standard, if we're gonna hold really it's mostly Lamar Jackson that gets it, or like Dak Prescott too.
yeah,
They hold him to the same standard. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? If he doesn't get it done, it's on Dak. If
yeah,
Lamar don't get it done, it's on Lamar. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like only other people that kind of seem to solve from that is Mahomes. If Mahomes don't get it done, it
Mahomes.
ain't Mahomes' problem. It's everybody else.
Yeah,
Mahomes can't do it. Josh Allen's the same way. If he don't get it done, it's everybody else, not Josh Allen. He don't take most of that blame.
yeah,
Almost Justin Herbert's almost the same way. He
yeah.
don't get it done. He don't take the blame.
They don't talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah. Joe Burrow don't get it done. We talking about Joe Burrow.
yeah,
Mostly, you'll probably say something about Joe Burrow. Most of the
yeah.
time, it's because he's injured or they don't have. But then again, also he kind of gets that same pass too. Like
He
you know,
gets it because their defense is so
it's
bad.
trash. Yeah, it's
Their
trash.
defense is so
Which
bad.
he has a legitimate excuse because the offense does put them in the game so much, and the defense is the reason why they lose
The the
most of
de-
their
the,
games.
the
So
defense is a
yeah,
huge part in that.
So, but when you just breaking it down, Lamar don't get that pass. You know what I'm saying? We just sat here. Dak Prescott, he don't kind of get that pass. He gets blamed for their losses and stuff. Dak didn't
Even
do it,
with
but
that
Dak,
trash defense.
yeah. But also Dak does sometimes do the cowboy way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying. We
Mr.
talk about
Turnover in
Jalen
the
Hurts
clutch.
too, but even though there's a lot that goes on Jalen Hurts for them not,
Yeah,
getting over that.
there's stuff in the locker room that's
You
going
know,
on with them.
you know what I'm saying. Then we got hell, Brock Purdy don't get no passes.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We be banged up if he throw a bad game or he has a bad game or if it ain't his fault, he's still gonna get part of that blame. Like, oh, he didn't put on the Superman cape and go above and beyond. And it's just like, well, what? I mean, what is he playing with?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Second, third, fourth stringers. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So it's like some people. I don't think Matt Stafford would get that pass if they were playing with second, third, fourth string receivers all year long or a banged up team all year long, and Matt Stafford was to go out there and not get it done. I don't think they're talking about. I don't think they're sitting there blaming everybody else. They're gonna probably say Matt Stafford didn't get it done. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Some people they just put the blame onus on the QB. Then
yeah,
some QBs get a clean slate from it, a clean rap.
yeah,
So I think Josh Allen gets away with too much because he's been a lot of times the cause of their downfall.
yeah,
There's been a whole bunch of times where he was extremely turnover prone, and he showed it in this game. Look at C.J.
yeah.
Stroud; he's getting murdered in the headlines because he's
Oh
turning the
man, they
ball
are
over and everything.
killing CJ Stroud.
Granted, granted, is it warranted? Yes, you played bad.
Yeah,
So therefore, guess what? If you play bad, you should be criticized on your
and
play. Josh
and I
Allen played bad.
bad.
Even though
Yeah,
they were in the game, they played bad. He
right.
did some things that was enough to get them possibly over the hump.
Hmm.
But your turnovers are the cause of y'all not winning.
Yeah,
Point blank
yeah.
period. So
Well,
let's put the
and
onus on them.
and that's the thing, right? So like you brought up CJ Stroud in Houston. I've seen a lot of people say, well, he didn't have his two top people that he passes the
This is
ball to.
facts. This is
That
facts.
is a fact. But
But you still
that
played
doesn't
bad.
but you still can't turn the ball over. You have
No.
to protect the ball. Right? So
No. Yes.
you still made miscues in terms of passing. And
Well.
and 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 that's the issue. And that's why I try to explain. I know Cam Newton gets a lot of slack about like the game manager and the game changer, right? And
Hmm.
to me, the ultimate game changer is somebody that can change the game but knows when to just manage and not turn the ball over,
Yeah.
right? The simple things. Because here's the thing: what I when I watch Josh Allen, I Josh when I watch Josh Allen, I watch C.J. Stroud. There's two huge differences, even though both of them um, made big turnovers, right? A lot of
Hmm.
turnover had a lot of turnovers. When I see Josh Allen, I see a guy that doesn't want to settle for the simple pass and wants to do everything, right? Wants to be the superhero on every play, and that
Hmm.
ultimately led up to some interceptions
Yeah.
by forcing things. And when I watched CJ Stroud, I saw somebody that was a little rattled and even though he some of those passes were short, they were ill-advised passes. And so those are the two very different things that I saw. Either way, you cannot turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Period.
Facts. Yeah, facts. Like with CJ Stroud, there's a lot of times he was under duress. So he's
Yeah.
throwing bad balls trying to get it out, which sometimes you might just have to take that L,
Just
take that
take the
sack.
yeah, take the sack.
Sometimes you might need to learn how to but see CJ Stroud. The problem was with him this playoffs, his defense saved his butt the first game. He
Yes.
had four or five fumbles or something like
Yeah.
that. Something like that. So his defense saved his butt the first game.
Yeah.
In the second game, his defense was keeping him in the game, but he kept on them four turnovers in the very beginning. Them four interceptions was big.
They're
Like,
crucial.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was a pick six. And then like, some you just can't do that. You just cannot do that. And fair criticism has to be put on him. But let's keep that same energy for any quarterback that's doing that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's got to be fair criticism across the board. I
Yeah.
hold. I'm a 49er fan. You know how many times I sit there be looking at Brock Purdy like you bald headed. You know what I'm saying? Why you
Yeah.
do that type of play? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
or why you throw it there? What was you seeing out there? You see what I'm saying? It's just like I hold him accountable for the turnovers he creates.
Yeah.
And it's just like keep the same energy across the board. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there's some people that yeah, like they might have great efforts to keep your team in, but you might be the cause of reason why your team also lost, and that's
Yeah.
Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, he can keep his team in. Like if he's not turning the ball over and y'all lose because of a field goal kick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your receiver, your tight end who has a sure hands, drops the ball. Flowers fumbles, and you know what I'm saying, things like
Right.
that are definitely not in his control. That's
Troll.
different. But
Yeah.
we still want to blame him for losing these games. But he
Yeah.
had nothing to do with those. Those are critical moments of the game.
Hmm.
He had nothing to do. He put it where it was need to be, and they didn't execute fully. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so that's how I
And
feel about that.
fun fact, there's one quarterback in the playoffs right now that doesn't have any turnovers.
Matt Stafford,
Matthew Stafford.
Sam Donald turned the ball over.
I don't think he.
I don't
Mm,
think he did neither, but
I
he ain't
don't
really
think he
throw
did.
much either. So there it is.
No, they
he
didn't
had
have
to.
to.
He had like
Didn't have
15
to.
passes. Look, Big Will.
Didn't have to.
Not too much. That's for me to rattle on them. Okay,
Not for me to
I
talk
didn't. It
about.
wasn't no invitation. Wasn't the invitation. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just want to let
Yeah.
that know that wasn't an invitation to talk about what happened. I was just saying he didn't have to do much. Okay, 15 passes. He ain't had to do much. He had his inner Garoppolo that game. Matter of fact,
When
he had more. But
when you here's the thing. A lot of people praised Caleb Williams after the Rams game, which is totally fair.
hmm?
Totally fair. Like he did some heroic things, right?
He had a heck of a season. I give him that.
Yeah, he did some heroic things this season. Um, that play to end regulation where he threw the ball up like that. I think I'm not the pass was good, right? But we're
Hmm.
not given enough credit to just the play call in general, understanding the tight end being matched up against a smaller corner
Hmm.
and you being able to have the opportunity to get a mismatch right there. Um, that was there's more to it than just a heroic throw, right? Um,
Right.
and I don't say that to take any credit away from Caleb Williams. Um, Here's the thing. I know that interception in overtime, they're kind of like blaming the wide receiver. Who was I don't know if that was a Doomsday or what's his face? I can't remember his name. I but I will say this. Our defense, you can clearly see that our secondary had something to prove in that game. When you look at the efforts that we made for the interceptions that we had in that game, our
Hmm.
secondary, because all that had been talked about was the question marks with our secondary. I questioned our secondary,
I was
right?
about to say
Yeah,
you
I
questioned
questioned
our
it. I'm
secondary.
part of that, right? As a Rams fan, I'm part of that. I questioned
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, they showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
They
They
came
played a good
clutch when it
game.
mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came clutch when it mattered. Now, here's what I'll say: is I saw somebody point out the bad throws that Matthew Stafford had in that game. I definitely believe that he's battling through some things. But and I might get some backlash for this, but that throw that he made to Adams in overtime, where he's on the right hash and he throws to the
Hmm.
left, and Adams catches. In my opinion, that was a better throw than what Caleb Williams did, and nobody's really talking about that Matthew Stafford throw. But that Matthew Stafford throw was more impressive to
Let
me.
me ask you a question. What are you surprised that they're not talking about Matthew Stafford, bro? Think about
Nah.
it. This man goes
You
through the season. He throws no look passes all through the year. He does all kinds of crazy things that becomes the norm. So I'm not surprised that they're not going to talk about
that's valid. That's a
it. So it's
that you
like sometimes,
that's valid.
yeah, sometimes when people are doing things that are just normal, we know Matthew Stafford has an arm. We've seen him fit throws in tight windows. He throws no looks, all kinds of things. He keeps you off balance. I'm not surprised. So it's not
Yeah.
like we're gonna be surprised with that. We'll be more surprised with an amazing catch than we will with Matthew Stafford's amazing throw. I mean, we know he got an arm. That boy can throw the ball.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, he's only in his third year? It's his second
Hmm.
year? Second
Third
year.
year.
Third
Second
year.
year.
Yeah, last year was a rookie. I think he was a rookie last year. Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
rookie.
Yeah.
So second year.
Second year. Yeah.
Of course they're gonna talk about that. That's just gonna be one of the big plays, big things, and the impressive season that they had. So I'm not surprised, but I could agree. But I'm not surprised that they're not talking about that. And
Yeah.
just a rudimentary routine throw for Matt Stafford.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. It was clutch though, man. That game,
Oh,
it was a
I
clutch.
know
That was a
you was on the
clutch
edge of your
catch.
seat.
Yes. Yes. That was such a clutch like drive at the end. We got the interception and we drive and get it in field goal range, and we
All
get
right,
the
big boy.
field goal
Yeah,
for the
we
W.
we get it. Y'all won. You happy. You know what I'm saying? I get it. We don't got to go through the whole soliloquy and all this. I see the passion. You know what I'm saying? It's all
Yeah.
great. No, but that was a hell of a
Yeah.
game. It was a hell of a
What's
drive.
what's so we haven't really talked about Denver. We haven't talked about second to the last play, second play, second to last play of the game, and you break your ankle.
That's tough.
That's tough. I
That's
feel so
tough.
bad for Bo Nix. That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough
Yeah,
loss right there.
yeah, it is. That is
Whew. Then
for the AFC.
I have unfortunately I have zero confidence in your backup.
Sean Payton has a lot of confidence in his backup.
I
Maybe
mean,
he's just
he's supposed to. What else he's gonna do? What I
he
mean,
he's he seemed very confident in that
of,
press.
yeah, of course.
Maybe it's
I
a
would
maybe it's a
look,
chess
look,
thing.
look. Let's just be real. He's the coach. He better be having confidence in his backup. We ain't supposed to go out there and be like, "Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do." He can't do that. Can't
Yeah,
do that.
that's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? So you got to have confidence in your backup. But was it Stidham? Stidham is it
Yeah,
what they say their backup
still,
is? Yeah, I
yeah.
don't have confidence in their backup. We'll see. You might show me something. We might see. But I feel like they're gonna have to lean on the run a little bit more. They're gonna have to lean on the run, but the defense carries. So that's one thing. That's probably why he got so much confidence. Because I don't need him to do much. I just need him to make correct reads.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? So like it does turn into a chess game, and here's the thing: New England has really no film on him, like in terms of what he's going to do in this system or how Sean Payton's going to use him. So that is a small advantage, right?
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah,
this is the NFL. We know a lot of that doesn't matter, right? But
yeah.
it does, but it doesn't, right?
It doesn't matter when it comes to a person that I mean, wasn't he wasn't he just in New England not too long ago?
Was he with New
I thought
England?
he was a backup for one of them teams.
He
Was
was
it Stidham?
he
Let me
was a
see.
backup for somebody else. I don't know if it was New England though. I could be wrong. Let me look it up though.
I'm about to
Um,
look it up right now.
you looking it up? Okay, I'll let you look
Yeah,
it up.
Jared Stidham. Let me see. I feel like I've seen him. Huh,
He
yeah, he was a New England backup.
was he in New England?
Yeah, he
So
was
that could
in New
work two
England.
ways.
He was in New England and Las Vegas, and so he's been in New England
That's
since
where I
that was not the
remember him,
same,
Las Vegas.
not the same New England team though,
Yeah, that's
not the
true.
same
But I
New England
remember him
coaching
in
staff.
I
Yeah,
remember him in Vegas.
yeah, he was in Vegas, and then he was in Denver for the last 3 years, and he has
Okay.
literally started. He's played 20 games in his 6 year career. and he has a 1-3
Most of
record.
those were with Vegas.
No, he's only played one season with Vegas.
Well, I'm saying,
That
but
was
a
the
lot
year.
of
Yeah, he had five. He played 5 games. He played 8 games in New England. He never started.
okay,
And then he played 5 games with Las Vegas. 2 of them he started. Then
okay,
he played 3 games in 2003 with Denver. 2 of them he started. And then he's played 3 games in 2024, 1 game in 25 season, which this year don't look like he did anything.
yeah,
Um, Kneeled the ball down probably.
yeah,
Um, and he has a 1-3 record. And, I mean, he could be something. I'm not gonna knock him. He's in the NFL, so at the same time, he's better than me. But
right.
he could do something. I just don't really have.
Well,
I
an,
don't have much
an,
on him.
another thing we got to look at too is let's not pretend like Drake May didn't have some turnovers against Houston,
Oh
and
yeah, he most definitely did.
Drake May
Yeah,
he has some struggles
yeah.
against the Texans, right?
And
Um,
that's a top defensive team,
that's
just
a
like
top defense,
Denver.
and Denver has a top defense.
Yeah, yeah.
Denver has a top defense, so it's I feel like everybody's picking New England right
Of
off
course.
rip, um, but that's not a gimme.
No, it's
That's
not.
not a gimme game for New England.
But I do feel like they have a better chance than the Denver Broncos winning because we just
That's fair.
seen at the end of the day we just seen what Drake May, not what Drake May done. Even though Drake May still had a pretty good game, he still
Yeah,
was throwing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't threw some good balls and touchdowns in that game. But I look at it from the standpoint, New England has a good defense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I feel like Stroud is a better quarterback than Stidham. We don't know nothing about him. We'll see what it comes down to Sunday and what their game plan is about. But
yeah,
New England's defense calls a lot of turnovers. They are pretty good too themselves.
yeah,
So don't know. It's one of those. It could be a pick'em game, but we've seen what if you aren't coming with your A game and they can't run the ball in Denver and or their quarterback ain't it. He's gonna throw some. He's gonna give them short fields,
yeah,
and I don't see Drake May having the same type of hiccup game like that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still gonna be a toss up. I just don't
They're playing
trust
on
the
the road too. It's in Denver.
Yeah, I just don't. But it's the biggest thing is that climate, that weather, that air ain't gonna be good up there. That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing. You dealing with that high altitude. Other than
too.
that,
Yeah, breathing.
two teams that play in the cold weather don't really mean nothing. They both play in cold weather. You know
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm
that was one of the
saying?
question marks. That was one of the
Yeah.
question marks for the Rams against Chicago, and they're like, "Well, y'all guys are a dome team." That's what everybody kept calling a dome team, and I'm
That
like,
really it matters, but it don't matter.
"Yeah," I'm like,
It
Chicago
matters.
had to
Let's
play in the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now one team is more used to playing in the cold than the other, but
You got to
you get
remember,
hit, you get hit. It's still gonna hurt, no matter if you used to
yeah,
playing in
and
the cold or not.
you got to remember both our Adams played in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Puka Nakua played at Utah. Cold.
Yeah, it's cold in
Um,
Utah. Yeah,
Kyron Williams, Notre Dame.
but not even that. Matt Stafford, he played in Detroit, so he had to play against those cold weather teams every
Teams.
year.
Exactly.
So it's not like it was some like it wasn't like most of them like in Miami, or most of them didn't weren't from cold weather squads, but
Yeah.
it really don't matter. Most of those people are vets. You talking about vets on the squad versus
Yeah. So they're accustomed to that.
yeah.
They're professional athletes.
And then at the end of the day, there's been a lot of people that love to play in cold weather because most kids' childhood dream of playing football was what you want to go out there and play football in the snow.
In the snow. Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
if you were
For
in
sure.
Texas or something and you seen it snow, you weren't really trying to be inside play. And you could play football back when you grew up.
Yeah.
Man, you was out there in that snow trying to play some football. You know what I'm saying? So it's this the love of the sport, but I don't think that's the same thing that works for teams like the Rams because there's so much experience that is on their offense.
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. They're gonna play offense in the snow, and the defense just want to hit anyway. So
Yeah,
now, what
yeah,
would matter if it was like we're talking about a blizzard type game? Then, yeah, you know, might be a little more different, but yeah, it is
yeah,
what it is. And Chicago was inexperienced, so
yeah.
they never
But
been in
that
the
mattered
playoff
too.
game before.
Chicago's
So
a young team.
yeah,
They're a young team. If they continue on this trajectory, they'll be a problem.
hmm and then when you're looking at the AFC, you're looking at two young teams there because they still got young
Denver,
squads on both teams, on Denver
yeah,
and what you call. So it's just like it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good
yeah,
game. So,
yeah, for sure. I want to talk about some of the coaches and some of the available teams that are open. First of all, super surprised that Atlanta hired Stefanski. Like, super surprised at that. Super
Atlanta hires
surprised.
Stefanski.
Yeah.
I thought it was McDaniel.
No. Atlanta hired Stefanski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Super surprised. Super surprised. Matter Matter of fact, here's the thing. Ryan Morris went what 16-18 in 2 years.
Yeah, something
Um,
like that.
yeah, it seemed like he was getting the team in a rhythm. I felt like they could have built off this year. I personally think he got fired based on the previous years before him, right? I think the impatience of them not having been a playoff team since 2018, I think, or 2019. I think that um, Raheem Morris was like, um, you know, shrapnel. Like he's just the
Mm-hmm.
bystander, and it's like, oh, let's just fire him. Even though, from the outside perspective, a lot of us could see that, okay, oh, he's starting to get this thing turned around. You could see late
Yeah.
in the season they started to figure out. Obviously, there was some question marks with Michael Penix Jr. getting injured and
Mm-hmm.
Kirk Cousins. And that was going to be an issue going into next year because we don't know if Michael Penix Jr. was going to be healthy for next year.
Right.
Um, but we saw that Ryan Morris was able to start getting things rolling the end of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, with that said, to go hire Stefanski, who, look, let me not take away what he did prior to this past year in terms of coaching. You know, he's got some coach of the year things, and he's you know he's not a super bad coach, but with you saw what he you saw how he managed this situation with quarterbacks. You saw how he managed
Right.
this season with Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders
Mm-hmm.
and having Flacco and just all the things, right? And he obviously did a piss poor job of management with that and did a piss poor job of um, PR with that and did a piss poor job of just execution on the standpoint of clear cut and understanding what to do. And you're going to give him a job where you probably aren't going to have Kirk Cousins, who knows? And well, no, I don't think
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you won't have Kirk Cousins, and then you don't know if Michael Penix Jr. is going to be healthy. So you're going to hire him knowing that he didn't do a good job managing the quarterback situation in Cleveland, and you're going to hire him to figure out a quarterback situation in Atlanta. Like, you just got to make that make sense for me.
Well, this is what's going to happen. It's going to really show details on was it Stefanski that didn't want the Shador Sanders situation or not? Because sometimes it might not have been him that was the reason why Shador
Ownership,
that whole thing mismanaged. Could have been ownership. We never
yeah,
know. You know what I'm saying? Could be him. Maybe going to another team, he might. It might be an easier place to manage quarterbacks because now I got a veteran quarterback, then I ain't got to worry about trying to develop a young quarterback. they got Cousins still, which I think they still have him under contract for another year.
Yeah.
Um, or I might like Penix Jr. and that's who I'm rolling with. You
Yeah.
don't know what's going on behind closed doors. That's one thing that's to look at is to see how he does with this. But Stefanski, he's not really technically. I don't think he's even an offensive coach. I think he's more
No.
defensive coach anyway.
More defensive.
So, so depending on what kind of leeway he might get there, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see exactly how it works. If you can develop Penix Jr. or do you go with the veteran? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We're gonna see how that works out because he hasn't been able to develop any coaches since any quarterback since he's
Been right, exactly.
yeah. Maybe they're
It's
not
been a
looking for him
revolving
to
door.
do. Yeah, maybe they're not asking him to develop the quarterback. Maybe
Yeah.
they just want him to develop this defense, and that's what we got you for. We want you to develop this defense, get them better, let the offensive staff handle the quarterbacks and stuff like that, and whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
Do I like the pickup? Not really. I don't like it at all. I think they could have went with somebody different, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Um, hey, if I've heard people talking about possibly getting Chris Shula, uh, in terms of head coaching,
Hmm.
he's being looked at. Um,
Hmm.
if that's the case, man, Ryan Morris, come home. Come on back to LA, man. And Chris Shula, you look, we know that they take our defensive coordinators all the time. I mean, even going back to Wade Phillips. And I was just saying, like, if they're gonna take Chris Shula, if Chris Shula is being looked at as a head coach, possibly after this season, if they're gonna take Chris Shula, Ryan Morris, come home, man. Come home. Come on back to LA. We'd love to have you back. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I
You could
bet
do
y'all
something
do.
with Jared Verse and Fisk and Kobe Turner and all them guys on that
Boy, they'll have a
defense.
nice little
Cam
defense down there.
Curl. Yeah.
Yeah, he will have a nice defense to work with over there. Some young
Yeah.
boys over there,
Yeah.
hungry.
Landman, all of them. Come on, come on. Spates, Omar Spates.
Yeah,
Yeah. You like set it up. Set it
them
up.
boys is young. Them boys is hungry too.
Yeah. So come on. And another thing that I'm kind of maybe they're waiting for the end of the year, but I ain't heard surprisingly, and I hate to bring it up. Surprisingly, I ain't heard no buzz about what Dallas is doing in terms of looking for defense coordinator.
Who cares?
Because
Uh,
usually they like to be the
another,
topic of discussion, and
another,
they've been quiet.
another podcast where I could have done without saying the Dallas Cowboys or anything.
Fair enough.
Who cares? I
Fair
don't
enough.
know. They always got something going. Who knows what they're looking at? I'll
Yeah.
tell you one thing that I don't like,
What?
and I'm feeling some type of way. Robert Sala went to the damn Texans.
No, he went to Tennessee
I mean
Titans.
Tennessee. That's what I meant. The
Yeah.
Titans. Yeah,
Look,
yeah, man. Whatever, man.
I don't know what Robert Seiler thinking. I would have just stayed in San Fran.
Yeah, he over there. He. Yeah, yeah,
I would have just stayed in San
yeah.
Fran,
He
dog.
should have.
That's a job I don't know if I
He
would
should have.
want.
He should have.
I don't know if I'd
But
want that Tennessee job.
I'm starting to feel some type of way at you, Salah. You know what I'm saying? You just like you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you
Yeah.
got defense now. I'm starting to feel like you sabotaged our game.
Because they
Going
look
on
so
these
bad.
interviews during that week, you know what I'm saying? Then as soon as
Yeah.
we lose, you get hired on with the Tennessee Titans.
He
It
wasn't
didn't even. It
invested.
didn't. Boy, you ain't even wasted no time moving on.
He wasn't
So
invested.
you ain't even invested, not at all. But
Yeah.
I not to go back to that game, but I felt like none of them players was on that defense really gave a damn. Like I
Oh,
was
it
watching, I
was
know on the
bad, man.
sideline after
And
one of them plays, I seen one of them
yeah.
plays. One of the dudes was, I think Shanahan was talking to one of them boys. He got a penalty for something, or he did something, and Shanahan's talking
Yeah.
to him, and he just reading his lips. He was just like, all right, man. Like you ain't even engaged, bro. Like
Yeah. Not
y'all
even in
had
it.
no passion out there, none. Like y'all
Yeah.
started out all right, boneheaded calls by Shanahan with that stupid option in the very first. That took the whole wind out of. Not only did the kickoff do it, but that stupid 4th and 1 option play that they
That
ran
was
with the
terrible.
fullback option. Why didn't you just, if you was gonna do some boneheaded stuff like that, you should have just quarterback sneak at
Yeah,
least a yard. Y'all
agreed.
do it. Y'all did it all year long.
Yeah,
Whatever. I'm done with that
yeah.
game.
That was one of those things where I thought to myself, like, are they scared? Like, I felt like San Francisco was scared. Like, I felt like they weren't. I don't think you got San Francisco.
Mm-mm.
There was something that was off. To get beat like that in a
Yeah.
we're talking about the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't no
Yeah.
fight.
None. None at
None.
all.
None. No fight.
Mm-mm. No, y'all might as well just been at the couch like me,
Yeah.
watching the game, watching
Watch.
Seattle play themselves. Because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
which out there.
Yeah. That was, and I mean, it was early. Like, it was early that y'all was getting toe up like that. And I don't want to.
I mean, I seen it, Big Will.
I know it.
I seen what happened. 24-3 was kind of 24-6 at halftime.
Yeah, that was ugly.
I was done watching the game at halftime.
Was
I
you?
went. I got up and went to go take a shower. I came back and I looked at the little score on my phone. I was like, "Oh well, there's that." I didn't even
Yeah.
look at no more of the game after that. It was when I got out the shower. It was 34-6.
And you was done after that.
Yeah, I don't waste my time.
Yeah. It's like what am I doing? What am I wasting my time with this for? I don't blame you, man. Here's the
Waste my
thing.
time.
Here's the thing. So when we sit back and talk about teams that fought all year to battling injuries, y'all are still gonna be an elite story, right? Because battling the injuries that y'all have battled and the things that y'all had to deal with is still one of those things where it's like we'll still talk about how y'all were one of the top teams in the league with everything that y'all had to deal with. So you got to think about it from the standpoint of it could have been worse. You could have had a
What
season like last season.
what could have been worse than 41-6 in the playoff game? We might not even been in the playoff game. I mean, we might as well be sitting on the corner with Dallas out there. You know what I'm saying? We might
we'll,
not,
we'll just
ain't no
take
moral
that game.
victories.
Take
Ain't no
that
moral
game out of
victories.
it.
Ain't no
No,
moral victories.
you're not accepting that, huh?
Ain't doing no moral victory. I mean, we
That
had a
ain't.
great season. I would say we had a great season. Gives us some hope for the future because the young players are able to develop. You know what I'm saying? I like that. That was great. They showed a lot of heart until that game. I don't know where their heart went. I guess they just want to win one and prove that they can win. But other than that, I ain't with moral victories. I don't like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm just trying to give you something to
At
feel.
least I would probably feel better at least about it if they showed something in that game. Like you wanted to get if you got beat
They didn't show
41 to
nothing.
24
You're right. Yeah.
or what I'm saying 41-30, or you kept it close, kept them down, whatever, like how it's been all year. They scored 13 points in both games against us all year.
Yeah.
41 in the playoffs. The game
That's
that
great. Yeah.
mattered the
When
most.
you put it like that, that's kind of
The
yeah.
game that mattered the most, 41 in the playoffs.
Yeah. When you put it like that, bro,
I
that's
don't, I don't want no sympathy, no moral
yeah.
victory. I don't want none of that, bro. I don't want
Yeah.
to hear none of that because at the end of the day, y'all didn't show up. Like, I know Seattle's great. I'm not taking nothing from Seattle because
Number one defense.
their defense is hitting. Them
Yeah.
boys fly to the ball. Them boys is out there ready.
Yeah.
They ready. But
Yeah.
49ers weren't ready. Y'all weren't ready for that smoke. And yeah, next year, hopefully we're healthy again. I don't think that's ever going to really help happen any much more
Have you
because them boys are getting too old now. They're getting banged up.
have you ever heard the theory on why their players get hurt so much?
Something in that
There's
water.
a huh?
There's something in that water, that's for sure.
We'll close to. Um, I don't want. Somebody else told me about it. Talked to me about it. They had watched our podcast and they heard where we were talking about it, and they asked me. They were like, "Hey, does your partner ever talk about the theory?" And it has something to do with where they practice at. Where they practice at, there was like a plant or something that used to be there or whatever, and it's
Mm.
something in the air there. There's
Oh wow.
something that there's a theory that has something to do with it.
It could be. I ain't never heard of it. But
Yeah,
something's in
it's
something.
something. There's
There's
something
something,
though.
it's something, bro. Ain't no way in the world
We
that
can't
people
argue. There's something, right? We
it does.
can't argue that there's.
You ever notice just peep game, you ever notice it's always the same players. Kittle,
Yeah,
he's gonna get injured. Trent Williams, he'll get injured at some point in time of the season. Brock
yeah.
Purdy, he got injured at some point in the time of the season. Ayuk, I don't even know if he even still in Santa Clara. I don't know where he at. He's
No, they
been
haven't.
injured.
They haven't seen
So
him.
Nick Bosa, he's done got injured a few times. Fred Warner's done been injured a few times. Almost everybody at the positions that are our dominant positions, and it's always star players. It's always the
Yeah,
star players that get injured.
yeah.
None of the role players really ever get injured.
It's the stars.
It's always the stars.
Is it
And yeah.
is it going as a 49er fan, is it going to hurt? And I'm not trying to be like no
And then you
butthole
laugh.
about this.
You ain't trying to
Is
be
it
like you.
is it going to hurt to watch another NFC West team playing in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara?
Big Will. Is that really
Because
a
you
question?
I just
Is that
it's,
really a question? Is it gonna hurt? Is that really a question? Y'all
it's a
playing on our
question.
field.
It's a legitimate question.
Let me ask you a question. If it was two NFC West teams playing in LA on y'all field, would that hurt? Would it be a slap in
It
the face
would.
to you?
It would.
Yeah, man. Because that's supposed to be us down there, bro. And that's the other thing that kills me is like you had a chance to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Hey, when the Rams had that chance, we seized the moment.
Ain't nobody asking nothing about no Rams.
would
Ain't
it would
asking
it
nothing
have
about no
would it have
Rams.
been better if y'all just had a bad season?
No, no. I don't never want a bad season. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a bad season, but you think I want to be sitting here talking about I wouldn't have been able to say anything all year long if we were 3-12, 6-10, whatever and whatever, we had a bad season. I,
Yeah.
you see, I don't I forgot about last year.
As you should have. That was
Exactly.
terrible.
So ain't no reason for me to wish we had a bad season.
I'm just saying,
I
if
guess we
somebody
could have
else
got
gonna
a
be
good
playing on
draft
your
pick.
field for the Super Bowl,
Oh no, no.
if you wasn't gonna make it, then
I mean, no, because at least with the season that we had, I was able to see them young boys play their hardest out until
that's
one
true.
game in the playoffs. So I
That's
like
true.
that fact. It gives them development. Now we got to try to find out another defensive coordinator for like what the fourth year in a row.
Go get Raheem Morris. Don't go get Raheem.
I would love to get Ryan Morris. He ain't gonna go for no defensive coach.
He
He's
ain't
gonna
gonna
go
he
for a
ain't
head
gonna
coach position. But can come over. He can come over to San Fran and get this. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having Raheem Morris over here in San Fran, but I don't think he's going to be a defensive coordinator any place. I
You
think
think he's just waiting out head coaching positions?
he's going to probably get a head coach position. I mean, there's one in Buffalo now.
There's one in Buffalo. There's Pittsburgh still open. Tomlin is done coaching. He's retired.
Oh, he did? I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
he's not from all reports because him and Jay Glazner are like friends,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been reported Tomlin's done. He's not coaching no more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's done. He don't want to coach no more. He's done.
Oh, Mike T. Yeah, he's off the list.
Yeah.
He can come out of retirement. Come on, get on the staff though. You know what I'm saying? He can go and get on the 49er staff. You know, we're looking for somebody that just want to come and coach. You ain't got to worry
Yeah.
about nothing. You know, all the blame goes to Shanahan. So you ain't got
Yeah.
to worry about nothing. Come play D. Yeah, but that's dope, man. 19 years is a long time to coach though. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
that's a good number to retire on.
Well, it's funny because right after we recorded our last episode, and I was kind of releasing some stuff, and I was going to release some stuff about coaching and teams, and then I was like, oh, I got some videos locked in that I'll release in the morning, and then at 12 o'clock that night, they announced that the Giants are going to hire
Hardball.
Harbaugh, and I was like, oh well. That kind of changes the dynamic of our conversation a little bit, just
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Which was a good hire for the Giants, by the
That's a
way.
good hire for the Giants. That's a really good hire for the Giants. If you could get if you could get Jackson Dart to understand how to protect himself, you can have a healthy Malik Neighbors. You got two running backs. Your defense is starting to shape up. Just get that offensive line built up a little bit.
Hmm.
That, tweak that offensive line. Get you get you a couple pieces in the secondary, and that team can be something. You're not
It's a fact.
missing much.
They weren't bad. When
No,
you
they
really
weren't.
look at it, there's a
You're not
lot of
missing
games
much.
that they lost that they should have not lost. There's a lot of games that they were in, and then
Yeah,
they just lost in the
the
final.
one against the Cowboys,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had no. They should have won that
Yeah,
game.
they should have won. There's a lot of games they shouldn't even lost, but they did ultimately. But
Yeah, they did. But
now you got another high draft pick.
yeah, yeah. Um, Reports are talking about because the Las Vegas Raiders. That's Tom
Hmm.
Brady's pet now. Reports say hey, he's got to get more focused. I understand you doing the calling the games and stuff, but he's got to get more focused. What? So he was at the national championship. I
Hmm.
Reports say that he's there to look at Mendoza, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Which makes sense.
which makes sense, right? Makes total sense. Um,
It's the worst kept secret.
right. That's what this episode's going to be called. Worst kept secret. But obviously they're going to need more than just a quarterback as well. They're going to need an offensive line too.
Hmm. But you got to start somewhere. You start at the quarterback.
You got to start somewhere. The is in your opinion, is Mendoza that is he can he change a franchise? Because from everything I hear, that's who he is. Like he can change a franchise. And I'm gonna be honest with you, watching him play, I like no shade to him. I think he's really 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 good. I think he's a great player. Um, but watching the national championship, he struggled with the pressure.
Oh
Miami's
yeah,
D line did a lot of good things. I think the turning point was special teams when that block punt happened. That
block
was
punt,
kind
missed
of
field goal,
yeah, the missed field goal.
but the
So
block
it was
punt
a
was the
special
big thing.
teams issue more,
Yeah,
right? And kudos to Indiana. Kudos to
they
Indiana.
had a heck of
They
a play call though.
yeah,
Definitely give a heck of a play call, and that
yeah.
back shoulder throw is amazing. He got.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That too. Um, but with all that said, I think I'm I'm afraid that they're just gonna overhype Mendoza. I kind of don't want them to do that to him, and the reason is because what happens is you draft him and he's got the weight of the world to carry based on the media kind of overhyping some things. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of what he is now because nobody knew, right? So it was kind of it was a mystery, but now it's no longer that. And look, they won the national championship. They went undefeated. Um, they had a historic run this season. So
Hmm.
yes, obviously he's going to be talked about.
Hmm.
But I'm some of the reports I'm seeing is like this is your guy. This is your top quarterback, and
Do I believe
I
he's the top quarterback in the draft? Yeah,
you think so?
I think he is. I mean, it depends on who's coming out, but I think he is. I think he's going to be the top quarterback in the draft. Do I believe he's going to be the one thing, the sole person, reason why a franchise get switched over? To be seen, to be determined. But how I look at it, it depends on what team he's going to. If he's going to the Raiders, mm, because they got so many pieces that they have to put together for him,
Yeah, yeah.
um, it's going to take some years if he does
They don't even
become
have a
what.
coach yet.
Exactly. So I can't sit here and be like, if he goes to the Raiders, they just going to turn around. That's I can't put that weight on that man like that. It's just
Right.
almost like putting that on Cam Ward, saying that the Titans are going to turn around with him. We know this
We
is,
knew, yeah,
you
we
know what I'm
knew that it
saying.
was
So
gonna be
when you
some
coming
building.
from, yeah, it's going to. You look at Carolina, it's going to take a while.
Yeah,
We look at now. Caleb Williams is a different story because they've exceeded expectations this year, but
they did.
we got to see what they do next year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you had a good season. They already had, but we'll see with the Chicago Bears. They had pieces in progress already
Right.
because I mean, these pieces were being developed to be put around. What you call him when he was there, Fields. So you
Fields,
were getting
Justin
some of these
Fields.
pieces to get put around that. So Caleb
Yeah,
Williams comes into a team that finally got the right coaching staff, and you put him in the right situation where he's got a bunch of weapons. He has a bunch of weapons.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So he didn't like coming in like Carolina had to grow with, you know what I'm saying, with Young. Uh and now you see what they're able to do. They still aren't no sure thing, but they look pretty good for the most part of the year.
yeah.
So can he turn around a franchise? Yes, it's possible. He could pull a Jaden Daniels.
Because anybody can, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we've seen that, or CJ Stroud. We see what some of these quarterbacks have been able to do their first year, but
yeah,
it's all depends on what you also got around you, the type of coaching staff you got. So it's to be this is it, to me is TBD, to be determined. I'm not gonna
right.
put that weight on that man like that. You know what I'm saying? Great, you won the Heisman, you won the national championship. You went into a national championship where I thought Miami had a legitimate, and they did have a legitimate chance of winning because Miami plays physical football.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And it showed. They played more physical, and I think we even talked about that before, but Miami plays more physical ball than Oregon. You know what I'm saying? That's not known to be a physical team, and Alabama is not the same type of Alabama we've known them to be. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? They're not the same team. Miami plays like that physical style football, and we saw that. A
yeah.
couple of plays here and there, that could have been a different type of game. Like
Right. Yeah,
if old boy caught that ball, caught that pick when he came and broke on that ball, he batted it down, but that was a pick six Mendoza would have threw.
that's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So there's a lot of things that hey, I'm not taking nothing from him. He was definitely the best college football player this year. You know what I'm saying? So he won the Heisman. He was the best college football player this year, but that game right there just looks just like how you think. Anybody on any given day can make a player look that good, kind of look almost normal.
Normal. Yeah.
And then you're gonna go into the NFL where if you're going to a team that ain't got the talent,
Good luck.
yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard because now you're dealing with everybody that come from that same ilk. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he's going to be instant franchise changeover. I say give him about 3 to 4 years because they were saying the same thing about Trevor Lawrence. We've seen
Yeah.
what happened with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence was
Trevor
typically
Lawrence
the
was
golden
it.
boy. You know
Yes,
what I'm
he
saying?
was
He was the
it.
golden boy,
Yeah.
and we ain't seen much of that. This year he looked better than the past years, but we wasn't looking at Trevor Lawrence as doing much of anything for the past few years. So it was just good that he finally got his act together in some games and they look good. But
Yeah.
we'll see how he does next season.
Yeah.
So it's always that next year. What are you gonna do the next year before I
Yeah.
start crowning you?
Consistently.
Yeah, and then we talk about Justin Herbert. People been crowning him
T-
as such a great quarterback.
but
he
and he hits
hasn't
that
done a whole
wall
lot.
in the playoffs.
Exactly. So depends on what his turning around a team look like. Like if you're going from a team that's only won 3 wins and he wins 5,
Yeah, like
or he
what's
wins
your what do
6.
you count as a turnaround?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are they now a mediocre team at 8-9 or 9-8?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, technically that is turning them around, but
yeah. That's
is he
true.
going to do a Drake Maye? Take them to a championship game or what? So
Yeah,
it just to see. I'm not going to put the weight on him. I think he could be good if he's
yeah.
under the right staff.
I think the Raiders should probably try to trade for Lamar Jackson.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I tell
Well,
you right
Buffalo is
now.
not,
Well, yeah,
Pittsburgh's
I
not,
mean, yeah. Pittsburgh needs to.
but not just given
Ain't nobody at Pittsburgh to even.
who Pittsburgh is historically, they're not going to do that.
Oh yeah,
So you got
like I said,
now
Pittsburgh
here's
needs
here's
to.
well here's a question mark too. We don't know who Cleveland's going to hire. All
No,
right,
we
and
don't.
there has been talks about Deshaun Watson coming back next year or whatever. I don't.
To do what? He's gonna
That's
be a
all weird.
sideline
Yeah,
player,
that's
coach.
that's all weird. Let's say the ownership didn't want Shador Sanders.
Trade him.
Raiders trade for Shador.
I
I
don't
mean,
think the Raiders do that.
Tom Brady,
I
that's your boy.
The reason why I don't think the Raiders would do that is because if you got somebody like Mendoza that's coming out, do I really want to trade for
He
Shador? Would I go with somebody like Mendoza? That's what you're gonna
mm,
run up against. Yeah, they didn't even have a year to really. But I will say, from a talent perspective, I'm not gonna sit here and say Mendoza is that much better than Shador Sanders. Talent wise,
talent wise. Yeah, yeah,
you know what I'm saying. There's things that Shador does that Mendoza doesn't do. There's things that Mendoza does that Shador doesn't do. But I don't think they make that decision to do that. I don't think that's going to suit them right. Would I like to see something
yeah.
like that
If I was
happen?
on Madden, I would.
I mean, yeah. Like if I would I like to see something like that? I'd like to see Shador in silver and black. I think he fits that.
Yeah,
I think he would fit that culture. For whatever
yeah.
reason, I just feel like he belongs in
Which is why I
silver and
was so
black.
confused that they didn't draft him.
I was too. But, I guess they thought we're going to go with win now mode or whatever, thinking that Geno Smith and Pete Carroll combination would
Well,
spark something.
you wasn't getting you clearly this year. You didn't get a whole lot out of Gino. He looked like a damn rookie this year. So I'm just saying.
Yes, he did.
He
Yes,
looked
he
like a
did.
damn
That's
rookie
a
this year.
fact.
So you didn't, this shit didn't work. I don't know what made them think.
Oh boy. I mean, they
Well, I know
thought
what
they
made them
thought they
think
were
that.
going off the
They saw what he
high.
did in Seattle.
So you go off the high. They riding the high in this. He
Yeah,
was in Seattle. He didn't look terrible in Seattle, and they thought pairing him with Pete Carroll, you might got something. It's
yeah,
a legitimate thought process. Now the problem is sometimes that product just don't sell, and that
yeah.
product didn't sell at all.
No.
I mean, it was some balls that sold. Definitely,
Yeah.
he he showed enough. He showed enough was giving other teams reason to believe in themselves.
Yeah, no, for sure. For
So
sure.
yeah, so I mean, they tried something, it failed, unfortunately, and we see what happened as a
Which,
result of that. Pete Carroll
yeah.
no longer the coach there 1 year, so it seemed like more of an experiment, try to
Yeah.
win something now.
It's crazy. The Raiders are paying like 5 coaches, right? And they don't have one. They don't have one, but they're paying 5 of them. It's
Well,
crazy.
it's on Tom Brady's lap. You got the ownership now, buddy. Go
Yeah.
ahead, do something with your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I wouldn't mind if they did that because I feel like Shador, he is a first round pick. So could it be an even exchange? Yeah, to me. Trade the
Yeah.
first, get a Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
Because we don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to look like in Cleveland next year. We have no idea. We don't know who
Because
their
they don't have
coach
a coach.
is.
It's
You
Here's the
know,
thing.
We
We
don't know what
don't
they're gonna do
know
with Deshaun Watson.
Watson. Yes, so many question marks with Cleveland. So many question marks with Vegas. So many question marks with Pittsburgh. So many question marks with Baltimore. Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting a question mark next to Miami because Miami is Miami. And
Yeah,
I'm not putting a question mark next to Buffalo because you have so much talent in Buffalo, in
yeah,
my opinion.
this is true.
The only reason I don't have the question mark, the only reason I have the question mark in Baltimore is because I don't even know if Lamar Jackson really wants to still be there.
Big. That's a big. Yeah, you don't know what he's thinking.
We know Josh Allen wants to be in Buffalo, but we don't know if Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson wants to be in Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, we definitely don't know about that one.
Yeah. So
And I
it
ain't even about to
leaves.
speculate.
Right, exactly. Like we have zero idea what he wants to do, and he never talks about it. So
Nope. Oh, keep your mouth shut. Keep playing football, buddy.
yeah,
And then just
exactly.
let where the chip may be. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously he don't have an agent, so it ain't
yeah.
like
He's
he's
his own
anybody. He's his
agent
own
or his
agent.
mom or what.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So at the end of the day, hey, keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
yeah.
Get your money and let the
That's
chips
it.
fall where
Keep it
they
moving.
may.
Yeah, keep it moving. I mean, because at the end of the day, I think right now, since New York is taken, Atlanta's taken,
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo's the next most attractive team out there.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah,
Buffalo, then Pittsburgh.
Buffalo didn't.
Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and I say Cleveland probably falls after that. Well,
Only because the
Baltimore.
defense, only
Sorry,
because you got Miles
Baltimore.
Garrett.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but that's a shoot. That's a hell of a defense
That's a
they
hell of
got.
a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you
You
just gotta fix the offense.
you got some work to do for that offense. Got some
Yeah,
work. It's
yeah,
gonna be some work. It ain't gonna be a piece of walk in the park. They definitely got work to do. But
yeah. It's gonna be a
you
rough
know,
one.
next year is gonna be interesting just to see Shador's growth, and things like that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I will say that the shocker though today, what I figured out when it comes to all the shocks and coaching moves was McDermott being fired was a shock to me. But
It was to me too, and some people were like, "Oh, I kind of called it." Some people felt like they knew it was going to happen. It kind of shocked me because I don't know. I felt like McDermott couldn't make Josh Allen. You know what I mean?
yeah, he's not greater than his roster.
Yeah,
What do you want him to do?
yeah,
I mean, win football games. Yeah, you definitely want him to do that.
yeah. So
But then I look at all the other vacancies. What's out there still? Arizona still got a vacancy. Mm,
Arizona still, I forget about Arizona.
yeah, it's not
And we don't
really.
know what they're going to do with Kyler Murray,
Yes, I don't
Jacoby
really think that's
Brissett.
a really high a wanted job anyway. I mean, they got some
No,
good pieces that's there, but it's Arizona. Mm.
yeah. Well, Kansas City has figured out what their problem is.
Eric got me. Then they go. Then they're
Eric
going after Eric
Bieniemy, they
Bieniemy.
brought him back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Guess
bringing
what?
him
You
back.
should have never let him go,
You should have never let him go.
dummy.
So they're like, you know what? Maybe it was Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. You
Should have
think?
never let him go.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah, I
So
looked at that. I was just like, oh, now he's falling back to the X, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. But it's gonna be interesting. Good game. Obviously college football is over.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl is February 8th, and so after that we'll be back heavy on basketball. There's so much in the NBA to talk about, but we'll get heavy on that soon. But uh,
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler out for the season. That sucks.
Yep.
Detroit's running away in the East. They're looking legit.
Yeah.
New York. I got so many things to say about the New York Knicks. This is what you fired Thibodeau for. That's all I gotta say. Um, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm
this
um
is
bro,
this
like
this is what
this
you
is
fired Thibodeau
I'm
for.
gonna say this. This is two teams in a row. that didn't learn their lesson. Well, apparently New York didn't learn their lesson after Chicago. What happened when
Clearly.
Thibodeau left Chicago?
Yeah.
They done been drifting downhill ever since.
Yeah.
And now we're watching the Knicks sliding. They were starting okay. It was great. Y'all won the little in season tournament joint, but
Yeah.
y'all ain't showing much ever since then, bro.
Yeah.
Like y'all don't know what 9 game skid and that game against that game against the Mavericks.
Oh yeah.
That was over before it even started, bro. I
Started.
was just
Yeah.
like, wow, I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
Right.
And they ain't got no superstars in Dallas.
None. None. So I don't. I mean, so
Oh
we
man.
we gonna really get into into the basketball thing here real soon.
Oh
Real
yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got
Real
to.
soon.
Got
Yeah.
to.
Um.
That's what's up.
As always, we appreciate everybody for listening to the show. As always, I appreciate you joining me, Adrian.
Yes, sir.
And we will be back. Oh, also, talk to Bros Talk. They are going to be on the next episode with us
Oh, that's what's up.
next
Cool.
week on the 28th. They're going to be on with us. Also, I forgot to tell you. Well, we had talked about Friday, but
Mm-hmm.
then to y'all had asked if you were available Thursday, tomorrow. Um, if you're not, no biggie. I'll show up. If so, pop up. You know.
Let me see about that one. I think I
Okay.
should be. I should be.
Okay.
But he don't live far from here anyway, so I
Right.
might be able to do that one. Plus, I'm off. But yeah, Friday was just this a jam packed day for me.
Day. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
tomorrow we will
Understood.
see if I am available. I'll let you know before we get there. But if not, you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
might have to slide on that, miss out on that one. But I will try to be there. I definitely will
Okay.
try to be there.
Okay. I'll let them know.
All right.
All right. Appreciate
Sounds
y'all.
good. Sounds good.
Peace.
All right. Peace.